Keep Your Power, brought to you by Promise Resource Network. Today we're going to talk about what to do on those dark days, and it's just wonderful here because it's storming like hell. There's thunder, there's lightning, it's dark outside, and what a better topic on a rainy day. How do we deal with our recovery on those dark days, right? When I say dark days, what does that look like? What does that feel like for you? Do what? Hopeless. Absolutely. It's hard. Fearful and hopeless. Depressing. Dreadful. That's a good word. Wow. Yes, sir.
For me, it looks like, not getting out of bed, not being able to shower, skipping eating.
Yeah.
Just sometimes for me when I would get depressed, it's almost like depression, like the melancholy.
Mm-hmm.
It can almost be, it's almost like comforting. Like I used to call it like blue blanket despair.
Mm-hmm.
You just pull it over, put your head on the covers and just like you bury your head in the sand. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. I like what you said, the blue blankie of despair.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it's just, I don't know.
It does.
Having bipolar.
Yeah.
Depression is, I had the depressive part of bipolar more than the other part. And it's essentially, it becomes almost a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And you have it regularly, and it just takes over every. And there's the frustrating part about it is there's no rhyme or reason to it. In other words, the normal person, not that anything is more normal or less. Anyway, the average person, like you may have depression, like from your mother dying,
mm-hmm.
or you're frustrated because your car broke down on the middle of the road. But people that have like illnesses like bipolar
mm-hmm.
have depression for no reason whatsoever, or reasons that don't really make any sense. Like, oh my God, I can't get this frying pan clean.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And
yeah.
So it's overwhelming, and there's no like rhyme or reason to it. So it's just
There are those of us that suffer from those that don't. I don't want to say that suffer. It's not fun though. But I think the greatest part of my personality is my diagnoses. I mean, I have fun with it. But it makes me who I am. Fun with my diagnoses.
What's your diagnosis?
Oh, I got so many, Alan.
I don't want to know. I just want to know you. I don't want to know any labels.
Thank you. Thank you. We don't go by the labels, do we? We don't go by the labels, but sometimes we do have to figure out what is what. And there is a difference between melancholy, general sadness in a situation, and depression. And you're right, because depression it's like a disease. It's something that affects us no matter, it can affect us when it doesn't make sense. You're right.
Exactly. And when you don't know what it's coming from. It's almost like unnatural, but it's not, because it's part of your makeup.
Yeah. It's natural to us. It's like when I think of addiction, with my drinking made no sense to anybody else. It wasn't an addict, right? Because I just kept doing it when it cost me so much. And that sometimes my mental health is like that. Other people don't understand. If you haven't been through it, you just don't understand. Mm-hmm. Depression, like Steve said, is a cloak, right? I always say, this is awful. I always say, sometimes I've got my head up my ass, but it's warm and cozy. It stinks, but it's warm and cozy.
Yeah, people would say things to me.
And then you come out.
Not meaning to hog the spotlight or anything, but people would say things like, that didn't relate, like, stop having a pity party,
mm-hmm.
Things like as if there's any choice in the matter.
Yeah.
But anyway.
There are so many things in a dark day that I have to fight. That hopelessness, that despair, that not being able to get out of bed, that inability to connect with other people on those days, right? Because I am afraid. because I am afraid. And those dark days come. We got Todd in the house. Derica Nolan, hey, good to see you. It's Suzanne. Hey, Suzanne. She says, find a way to create your own sunlight when the world has destroyed the sunlight we depend on. Wow. Create your own sunlight. You know, we got to do that sometimes. Because my life is up to me. And I can choose, in most circumstances, a better way to think of things than diving into that hole again. I'm one that used to dive into the hole, and I just don't want that anymore. Find a shining light on the darkness scares away the fear. Absolutely. Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you.
So these dark days suck, right?
Right.
They do. And we can either run with it with the cloak and stay in that all day, all week, all month, all year, all life, you know, or we can decide, let me try to work on this. Let me try to do something different just to see if it, just for the hell of it, right? Just for the hell of it, see if it works. It can't hurt. But I want to shift from that total darkness that encompasses me to something, like Suzanne said, something in the sunlight. You know, they talk about being in the sunlight of the spirit, you know, in some 12-step programs. And I love that because when the sunlight is there, my spirit is happier. Right?
Oh, yeah.
When the sunlight is there, I'm more capable of doing things when the sunlight is there. It's on these dark days. Can you all hear the thunder out there? It is a trip. Do what?
The vitamin D.
Vitamin D isn't there on days like today. And that's important. Vitamin D is, I sit outside a lot. I sit in my car a lot, so only this arm's tan. Okay. Here are some tips on what to do on those rotten, nasty, dark days. Okay? Everybody's had them, right? Some of us are going through them right now. Just some suggestions. Feel free to say bullshit. View the dark day, and some of these may not apply to you, and that's what's cool about recovery. You pull out what works and leave the rest. That may work for somebody else. You know, don't get pissed at it. Don't throw it out. But find what works for you. There may be just one little part of one of these that you can think may help. So view the dark days as a period of growth. What do y'all think about that?
Okay.
What do you think?
Great.
You think it's a period of growth, Rosemary?
Oh, that's the problem. I focus more on the problem than I do on the growth.
Yeah. That's easy though, isn't it?
I think easy now to get it.
Yeah. It's hard to climb out of that to viewing only the problem. When I read this, view the dark days as a period of growth, I thought of a seed. You know, you plant a seed. You want a tomato. So you plant a tomato seed, right? You're not going to plant a pepper seed or a lettuce seed. You're going to do what you want to grow. So I'm going to bury it in the dirt, and it's dark there. And it feels so alone. But you begin to grow. Even on those dark days, you start to push, right? And that's where it happens. We push out of the dirt, right? And just before we get to the light, there's a layer of manure, right? You got to get through that shit too. But then there's the light, and there's the tomato plant. And there it is, so beautiful. And before you know it, you got tomatoes. I was planted in the dirt, but I rose. I strived. It's hard. Some days it's impossible. We just got to hold on those days. But some days it's hard. And when we push through the dirt, through the shit, and become that part of the world, part of myself today. It makes such a difference. Yes, sir.
So for me, being in the dark of it, it's hard to see that, what you were talking
Mhm.
about. So I think it's probably important to kind of have that like ahead of time to think that you may get there. But like when I'm in the dark, that really dark space,
Yeah.
I can't think of what, what good, what I'm learning or what I'm growing. That's what you said, growing.
Yes.
Yeah, when I'm in that dark place, it's so dark.
Yeah.
There's no possibility of thinking about it.
Yeah.
But if we have like our memory
Yeah.
of what it looks like when the dark passes,
Mhm.
to reflect back on, because I
Ooh,
think
yeah.
when you're in the middle of it, I don't think at least for me, it wasn't really possible to see that this is a growth opportunity.
Yeah.
It's just
So
awesome.
overwhelming. Yeah.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. Thank you,
Sure.
Stephen. It is so overwhelming when we're in that darkness. I think I'm going to keep going with this plant analogy and say somebody had to water me, right? The rain of my higher spirit watered me, definitely. But somebody had to water me, meaning that somebody outside of me had to begin to care about me as I began to grow. I needed that. I needed fertilizer. I needed tending so that I could grow into what I was supposed to be, a tomato. Right? Does that make sense? Making sense. Yes, sir. Yes. It's those people that are around us, right? And it doesn't have to be somebody that's around us all the time or somebody that you think is got some information for you, some coping skills for you. It could be anyone. Anyone can say that phrase that can change a dark day into a good day. Right? I want to be that person. I want to be the person that says, Elijah, you look good today in that shirt. I like it. I like it. Yeah. Makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just a compliment, just holding the door, just doing something. And that is part of our growth. When we're around people who love us, right? We grow. We can get through that darkness. Yes. Suzanne said strangers can help. Sometimes what is it? I have entertained angels, people in my life who were absolute angels, and some of them only came for a day and changed my life at that moment. And some of them were there for a while. But I've entertained angels, people that have come into my life that have given me things, have given me thoughts and ways to deal with things and examples of what to do. What do you think, Rosemary? You're a hun over there. I know. I like it. I'm going, amen. I love it too, man. I love it. I need it.
When you're in that spot too, I think that the positive people are good, but those negative people or negative places or negative things,
Mm-hmm.
just stepping away from them or pushing them to the side. I don't know how many times when I'm not quite in the funk,
Yeah.
then I talk to that person in my life, and then they just say that off thing, and it just throws it. I mean, you don't believe it a lot of times.
Yeah.
But still, it's been said, and then it's like that little shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
That kind of a nag. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then you could call them out on it, but then you get drawn into this whole argument.
Yeah. Yeah. Lost it. Sorry.
Sorry.
Got the little train goes around. Sometimes goes into the tunnel, doesn't come out. The next thing says, have faith that the tide always turns. The tide always turns, doesn't it? Yes, sir.
Positive things happen to positive people.
Positive things happen to positive people. I believe that when I do, I get good most of the time. Not all of the time, but most of the time, right? I increase the probability. It's just math. I increase the probability that I'm going to get something good if I put something good out there.
Well, that tide is what we're talking about. Really, just waiting for knowing that it will change.
Yes.
It's not going to last forever.
Absolutely. And you said it earlier too, thinking of those times that the horrible things I've been through, there was a way out, right? At least a partial way out. Most of us have significant trauma, and I'm not discounting that. I'm not saying, well, you just change your mind and get better. That's not how it works. But we begin to come out of that despair, right? And a lot of that has to do with our memory of past successes and just remembering that there is light at the end of the tunnel and it's not a train. Maybe. Sometimes it's a train for me.
Not a train coming at you.
No, it's just it's one of those guys with a light and those things. You know what I mean?
Road on your toes.
Yep. All right. So have faith that the tide will always turn. I have, as well as everybody in this room that I can see, has successfully overcome every thing in their life that tried to kill them, because y'all are here and you're alive, right? My disease is trying to kill me, but I have the faith because I know that I can have power when I choose, right? That's what this whole class is about. Regaining our power on those dark days so I don't have to trudge, right? It says in some of the literature, we trudge the road to happy destiny, and some days it's like that. I mean, you're walking through a ball, you're walking through shit, you know, and sometimes it's up to your knees and sometimes it's up to your chin, right? Those days happen. Spend time with others. We kind of talked about that. You said call the person. You know, sometimes spending time with others is really hard, right? Because we may not be ready. We may not be able where we are because it causes such angst. It sometimes can make it worse if I'm around a lot of people, especially people I don't know, you know. It makes me anxious, but if I do one-on-one with people, my friend Joy was funny, and that helps me on those dark days.
Brings joy.
She brings joy to me. She does. They named her right. So spending time with others is critical. Who needs a bigger tribe? Who has a good tribe they want to tell me about?
Well, this is a good tribe, I think.
I think this is a wonderful tribe. It is. We're all connected because we're all sitting here and we're all experiencing the same thing at the same time. Do what?
Bonding. We're bonding.
Oh, we are bonding. We are bonding. We're getting to know each other. And that can help on those dark days, because to know that I'm not alone, to know there are other seeds that have been planted, right? I'm not having a good day. You're not either. Do you want to talk about it? Maybe we can figure out a way to get out of this. Or you talk to somebody that's having a good day and have them help you pull up, right? So be around those people that help. Be around your tribe. Be around your folks that lift you, not bring you down. Suzanne says she loves cooking. Journaling helps her with her feelings and thoughts. She says all our friends are farmers. Okay, well, all my friends growing up were farmers too. So ain't nothing wrong with farmers. I love it. And she says also strangers can help.
Oh, yeah.
You know, someone just doing that kind deed for us.
We're doing a kind deed for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a kind deed for somebody else.
Yeah,
They can lift you.
absolutely. We get out of ourselves for a second.
Yes.
Get out of ourselves. Be that ear for someone else. Show yourself some self-compassion. We talked about that up here, mercy and grace. Mercy and grace go a long way with each other. Right. What do you think of when you think of mercy and grace? Someone giving you mercy and grace. You're it. What do you think of when somebody gives you mercy and grace?
Pleasant. I'm sorry.
Pleasant. Absolutely. Absolutely. You just feel better, right? What else with mercy and grace? What else? How do you feel when somebody gives you that compassion?
For me, when I think of grace, I think of graceful, and I think I think it's important that we look at each other. We're people, we have flaws.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh, yeah. We all do, and that's the thing. And when I give you mercy and grace, that's a kindness that I can give everybody, which I hope I get back on those days, And that mercy and grace, I want to be able to allow others to see me as me, but I need to see them as them too, right? I need to be able to accept people where they are and love them, Saw something on Facebook, so it must be true. Absolutely. It's, what did it say? It said something about all the problems in the world. The solution is love. And I believe that when I can connect to somebody and receive that love and give that love, it can change the dark days. Is it lightening up? I think it's lightening up. It is. Consider seeing a therapist. Use mindfulness to become more objective about a situation. Be in that moment and try to think about the other side of this, right? When I'm mindful, I am in a space that I'm where my feet are. I'm not in the future or in the past. I'm where my feet are at that moment. And it can allow me to see things in a different way when I'm looking specifically at the thing. I don't know if I made sense with that, but so when I can figure, did I make perfect sense? Okay.
I think mindfulness is really important.
Yeah, it does. It helps me when I'm focused. I have such a hard time focusing, but it helps me when I'm focused. Hey.
It's funny, mindfulness, it used to be that, just how manners have changed. I don't know, I've watched something recently where people talking about how much manners have changed with the technology age. And it used to be that, and this reminds me of mindfulness, that when you're with somebody, like when you're with a customer, when you're with a friend, the respectful, polite, etiquette thing to do is to give that person your attention. And if there's a phone call or something else, you put that person to the side because this is where you are.
Yes.
And that is somehow changed in our modern culture. And I think it's an affront to what we're all about.
Yeah.
And I think none of us really like it at heart, but we play the game because that's what the game is.
Yeah. It has changed, hasn't it? Everything has changed.
Yeah, with this on social media.
Yeah, how we interact with each other. And that is so important because I want to interact. I want to communicate in a way, first of all, that I'm heard. Somebody's calling, so I'm not going to take it. I've got a friend going along with that. I've got a friend that when you are with her, you have her full attention. I mean, she is looking you in the eye. She is leaning forward. She has you for that. It does. It speaks volumes. She is one of the few people I know that our director, our CEO, Shireen Carrico, is another one who, when you're with them, they are yours. That is an amazing thing that somebody considers me worthy enough to give themselves to me like that.
I don't know how often I've been in a conversation with somebody and their cell phone rings and they get a text and they pause.
Yeah.
And they read it. But if you do the same thing, and we all do it.
Yeah.
And if you do the same thing, they look at you and give you this look like you're being rude.
Yeah.
But they just did it. Yeah, but we all do it because that's what we're being retrained.
Trained to do. Yeah. Yeah.
Puppies.
I don't know. I think my dog trained me. So, well, my dark days can train me too to be scared, to be feeling alone. Those things stifle me. And I do want to get into a better frame of mind. And that has a lot to do with it, to shift, like my friend Erica says, to flip it. Just flip it. Flip it into thinking, like it says, a different way about it, right? Somebody, like I get angry on Independence Boulevard. So I know. And everybody is all in the same boat there. And people are all over the place. And if somebody cuts me off, I can get really pissed about that. And I can get angry and I can cuss and I can flip them off and I can follow them home and all that shit, right? I don't want to follow anybody home today. So what if I gave it a different story instead of this guy's just an asshole? What if I said maybe they're going to the hospital because they've got an emergency? Now that would flip it for me because then I would have some grace and mercy, right? So if I can just shift what I'm thinking, it helps a lot. It helps a lot. What else can we do on those dark days? What else can we do on those dark days? Other coping skills or activities or concepts. Yes.
I would like comment on that because on those days I try to give authority where it's targeted mainly. And that's on positive, all positive things, no interruptions.
There you go. All positive. And being around those positive people
Right.
helps, doesn't it? Oh,
Positive things, all that.
that's it.
All that.
Absolutely. I got to go in there both feet.
You gotta keep your feet on the neck.
That's right. On the neck of the neck. I like that. Get your feet on the neck of what's trying to kill you. My disease today. And that positive, those positive people, those positive activities.
Right.
What am I going to do that makes me feel better today? Suzanne said earlier, music.
Yeah.
Music helps.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Y'all know that I spend a lot of time in my Carfus, which is my car, which is an office. We talk a lot in there, and it's a good place to relax. It's a safe place for me. And while I'm in there, I listen to music, and I listen to upbeat music because I need the energy from it. Some of you may walk by and it's like my windows are closed and, I'm in there and it's got to be upbeat. I need the beat. I need the trumpets. I need the sax. I need all those things, right? Because I like that kind of music. I like all kinds of music. And it pumps me up. It does. It changes me. It soothes my spirit and my soul, right? That's what I want today on those dark days. I want to be comfortable.
A good movie can do that for me.
Oh, yeah.
I was so disappointed. I was watching a movie. I don't know if anybody's ever seen The Help.
Yeah.
And there's a line, I'm not going to say it, but there's a line in The Help that kind of makes the movie.
Yeah.
And it's already started, but I watched it 20 minutes waiting to hear that line. And they dubbed it. They changed the line. Yeah, from
regular TV.
Yeah. And it completely ruined
Yeah.
I waited 20 minutes to hear that line, and they changed it from to spit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, you should say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was a good one. Movies are good for me. I can put in sometimes I leak. When I get full, I don't cry, I leak. Right? I refuse to say I cry. I don't know why. I cry a lot. I leak a lot. But that helps too on those dark days to get that out, to get those emotions out. I did with a a person that I know. She was having a rough day, and my day wasn't great either. And I said, "Get in the car." And we drove up the road. And as we were driving, I said, "Scream as loud as you can." And we did that. It was just, and it was so freeing. It was so. Hey, Bobby. There we go. Bobby says hello. He's one of our staff here. He's a great, great guy. I love him. Love Bobby. All right, Bobby's one of those people that can drag me out of those dark days. His spirit is so good. Elijah's calmness, your humor. There are things I got to get every day to keep me whole. And there are people I need to be around. Your wisdom, Alan. You know what I mean? These things I need to keep me level.
Mhm.
You need good ingredients to make a healthy soup.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just pulled that out.
I like that. You need healthy. What was it? You need healthy ingredients.
Good ingredients to make a healthy soup.
You
Right.
need good ingredients to make a healthy soup. I like that. Support from people we love. Activities. Knowing that there are things that we have been through that we have successfully conquered, right? Knowing that our past was useful. These are our superpowers, right? Our story is our superpower. And when I share that, and when I share information, and when y'all share yourselves, we help other people. We may never know it. We may never know the impact that we've made on someone.
That's right.
And sometimes people don't know the impact they made on us.
Exactly.
And that openness helps you too.
Yeah.
It helps you getting it out.
Absolutely. Telling our truth.
Mhm.
Telling our truth. We got anything else about dark days? I tell you what, it stopped storming. We're not taking credit for that, but it did stop storming. Okay. I want to thank Suzanne and I want to thank Suzanne and Todd for being here. Yay, our folks on the line. And I want to thank my crew in here for your wisdom, for your kindness. Yes, give another hand. What to do on those dark days? We get through them. We get through them.
Mhm.
And as we get through them, we grow, right? The seed has been planted in you. It grows. Get through the dirt. Help the people help you that are watering and are tending to you. You're going to be a tomato eventually, like I want to be a tomato eventually. But keep pushing, keep striving. It's what we're all going to do, right?
Yeah, I want to be the earth.
I want to be the earth. Kumbaya. All right. Thanks, everybody. Two things. Warm Line. It's a 24/7, 365 call to a peer support specialist, somebody that's got lived experience. You can call at 3 a.m. when things are kicking. You can call Sunday afternoon when things are calm and you just want to talk to somebody. Call us. We're here. Okay. Number's 833-390-7728. You can get it on our website. You can get it on this Facebook page. Keep peace, share love. The other I said two things, didn't I? Share this. Share this. Somebody may need to hear something in here. That one line that somebody said may change somebody's complete day. All right. Keep peace, share love. Have a good day. If it's rainy or not, have a good day anyway.